Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome back to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here, and today I have a playthrough of Pandemic: Fall of Rome. This is the third in the series of historical variants of Pandemic. In this one, you are being transported back to ancient Rome. Here is Roma right there. You are playing generals in the Roman army. You are trying to defend the land against barbarians. You are going to be walking around Pandemic style, only there's some variants. You're going to be building forts. You're going to be traveling around recruiting legions. And you're going to try to face off against these 5 barbarian tribes, all of which are surging towards Rome. It's basically the Pandemic that you know, but there are a couple of rules wrinkles that I'll get into as I play the first round of the game. But before I get into all that, let me tell you about the One Stop Co-op Shop. We are a gaming empire. We have our podcast, which is twice per week. Myself, Peter, Mike, Steve, and a lot of fans of solo and cooperative games. We cover lots of games. We cover special topics, all sorts of greatness on the podcast. We have our YouTube channel and our YouTube stream channel. Please go ahead, like videos that you like, subscribe to our channels. We'd greatly appreciate it. We also have our Discord, the beating heart of our community. We always listen to people in our community in terms of what to cover and who to bring on. So if you want to join our community, it's completely free to join, or you can contribute to Patreon, where we have additional tiers and additional access, some private videos that Mike cooks up just for our Patreon backers. But if you want to just join the conversation and be part of a very lively community, please go ahead and check the show notes below. You'll see a link to our Discord. Anyone is free to join. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. One quick note before we begin. This game does have historical notes, and I love this last sentence. When a design choice was required between simulation and gameplay, gameplay received preference. Boy, howdy. They're covering a huge time period with all these different peoples, and they've reduced it down to the Pandemic system where they're all flowing towards Rome. Liz and I, Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, we did an episode on this game about the historiography of the game and how it just doesn't get the peoples right, the barbarians right. Treating the barbarians as viruses can be a little bit difficult for us. I still love the game. I still think it's fun, as long as you realize that it's a game and they made certain design choices. So just wanted to give context before we started the playthrough. I am playing a 3-player game, and I have my characters picked out. I'll show you the special powers as I go through the playthrough. Just wanted to illustrate that if you're familiar with the basic Pandemic, you start with your 3 cards. The cards correspond to the different cities around the board, just like in the basic Pandemic. We have events, just like in the basic Pandemic. So I think I'm comfortable jumping in and showing you the basic moves. And once we're through the round, you'll have a pretty good sense of how to play Pandemic: Fall of Rome. All right, we are going to begin play with the Praefectus Fabrum. Oh, don't worry about my pronunciation. It's going to get worse, believe me. The way we determine starting position, you notice that the pawns are in different positions. That's different from Pandemic right away. You start in a city where you have a card. So I have the Aquileia card, and that is where the Praefectus is starting. So this character has the Roma card, so that's why they're able to start in Rome. My second action is I am going to build a fort. So in basic Pandemic, this actually would be a research station. You would discard a city card matching wherever you were. You would get your research station and do whatever you did in the base game. Here it's the same action to make the thing, only it does different stuff. So let's make it. Carnuntum. Go ahead and discard that. And now I have a fort. Forts are essential for defense. That is the primary way that you're going to be able to recruit legionnaires. So that was 1 action to move, 1 action to build a fort. For my third action, I'm going to recruit more of these legions. So the recruitment level is listed on this track over here. This corresponds to the epidemic track in the basic game. Here, this would be the revolt track. As I go on, recruitment will become less and less effective, but it's nice and early, lots of fresh bodies. Let's go ahead and recruit. No cards spent. Let's get some more troops there. I can have as many troops as I want in one space. And for my last action, I'm going to fight. Normally in Pandemic, you treat the disease and it will disappear off the board. But these are barbarians. These are tough and hardy. And also, this game wants to emulate a light war game, so to speak. So you're going to get the dice. I have 5 legions over there, but I can only roll a maximum of 3 dice. So they're custom and they do different things depending on what I roll. Let's see what I get. All right, so this side would mean that I would lose 1 legion and 1 barbarian. I did that twice. And I would also lose a 3rd barbarian. So let's get rid of 2 of these guys. Sorry, your sacrifice was very valiant. And I get to get rid of 1, 2, 3 barbarian cubes. And so let me show you the rest of the die faces. As you can see, it's possible that I can eliminate 2 cubes. That's pretty nice. There is a possibility of losing a legion and nothing else. That's pretty terrible. And this one procs a special ability depending on who is involved in the fight. Every character has a symbol and will do a different thing. So that adds a little bit of asymmetry to your rolls. All right, so that was a pretty successful turn. I was able to move, build my fort, make some more legions, and also wipe out some of these barbarians over here. I feel pretty good about my defenses right on turn 1. So that was the end of the first turn of the game. I'm going to draw 2 cards from the deck. I got 2 city cards. I'll go ahead and add those to the first player's deck. Now let's go ahead and pull from the invasion deck. We would check the number. It's nice and early, so there's only 2. So then, as in regular Pandemic, as we get further and further along, we pull more cards. Let's see what happens. Aquilea. Okay, so it's purple, so I'm pulling from the purple cubes. I would locate the city, and then this is very, very unique to Pandemic Fall of Rome, probably the most unique feature, how these are placed. So I would check to see if further along on the path there was a barbarian. So then because there's a barbarian right here, I can place this right there. It's basically like playing a supply line. The game wants to emulate armies marching and establishing their supply line. So that is a perfectly fine placement right there. Now for the second pull, I have Syracuse. So if you know anything about your geography, Syracuse is nowhere near the action. It is all the way down here. So as I said before, you would look at the city and see if there were any cubes around. There are 0 cubes around. So you are going to follow this line backwards towards where there are cubes, or stop where there is a set of cubes somewhere in the city. So then there's nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here. It would go all the way back here to Lugdunum, because that now I've established a supply line. In future turns, there's going to be outbreaks in random places. So let's say there was an outbreak in Caesarea. Then I would go ahead and put the cube there because there'd be a link. There's nothing there right now. So I had to go all the way back to close to the Vandal staging area. And that is how invasions, cube placements, work in Pandemic Fall of Rome. All right, so now it is the turn of the Praefectus Classis. Blue, water guy. That's exactly what this character is. So now I'm going to demonstrate trading, building of hands, and actually progressing the end game, which is to quote-unquote establish treaties with barbarians. Let me show you exactly how that works. Okay, so for my first action, I'm going to move me and my 2 legionnaires to Constantinople. Any character can discard a relevant city card to get to a place, one of these port cities. It's much harder to move around inland, but it's fairly easy to move around with the ports. I did not discard a card because the Praefectus Classis is one of their powers, is that they can move from port city to port city without discarding a card. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I want to start to build some commonality in my hand. So I'm going to request that the consul trade their Constantinople card. I am in the city, so I'm able to trade. So that's like Pandemic. So how quote-unquote curing the diseases, aka making treaties with barbarians, works, a little bit different in this game. So the Vandals and Visigoths have more cards, more cities in their decks than some of these other characters. So that's reflected in the numbers on the bottom of the cards. So that you see there are 13 copies of white cards and only 6 copies of purple cards. And also, I only need 3 cards to make a treaty with the Ostrogoths, which are purple. I need more, 5 cards, if I want to make a treaty with these other barbarian tribes. Once I get the requisite number of cards, I would not go to a fort. I would go to the barbarians. I'm enlisting their aid, so I have to go to where they are, right? So let's say this character had the 3 that they need. I'm working on it. but I don't have the 3 yet. But if they did, they could go 1, 2, and discard those cards. They are now on your side and able to be recruited. They still cause a little bit of trouble, but not nearly as much trouble as if they are unallied. The goal of Pandemic Fall of Rome is to make treaties with all 5 of the tribes, or make treaties with as many as you can. And if you can't make a treaty with a certain tribe, make sure they're not on the board. Once you've accomplished both of those conditions, then you have won a game of Pandemic Fall of Rome. As per usual, losing a game of Pandemic is really easy. It can happen in a lot of ways. If I need to pull from a area and there are no cubes left, I lose. If I need to pull from a card and there are no cards left, I lose. If this reaches this fallen area due to outbursts of barbarian activity, I lose. And also, if I lose Rome, if an outbreak happens in Rome, I lose as well. We're going to make sure that doesn't happen. So that is all the rules you need to know that are separate for Pandemic Fall of Rome. Let's get back into the action. All right, so that was 2 moves. I moved from Rome to here, and I also executed a trade. When I move, I could take up to 3 legions with me. There we go. I like that. I'm going to use an event card. This event card is, if you want peace, prepare for war, place a fort in any city. If I wanted to, I could move the decline ahead and do this a buffed up power. But I'm going to save that. I don't know how this game is going to go. But I can build a fort here for free without discarding anything. And again, once again, because so many things flow out of these staging areas, I like having forts right there. And now I'm going to roll with my 3. Beautiful. Okay, so I lose 2 of them, but I also kill 3 barbarians. I don't know if I kill them. Maybe I just punt them back from whence they came. Try to be pacifist about that. I also rolled this eagle symbol. The eagle symbol for the Praefectus Classis says, if in a port, remove 1 barbarian from your city. I am not in a port. I'm going to make sure to rectify that next turn. All right, time to pull from the invasion deck. My first card that I'm going to pull is Constantinopolis. I happen to have a character right there. And so that's pretty fortuitous. Another aspect of these barbarian movements, that if I'm supposed to place a cube there and I have either a character or a fort there and a legion, I can remove the legion and not place the cube. That is fantastic. I love that. If there were just legions over here and I had to place a cube here, I would have to remove all of the legions. But since I have a guy here and I only have 1, I'm able to remove the legion and not have to deal with the cube. Great. My other card is going to be Caesarea. I hope that's Caesarea. Something like that. And I would check to see if there's anything around it. No, but then I would move along the supply line and put a cube in Berdigala. Oh my God. I may want to clear these out because this makes outbreaks very dangerous. But that's the push and pull of the game. Concentrate on things and also be mindful of the march of troops. All right, it is now the consul's turn. I think I'm going to take my own advice and try to beat back the supply line over there. So I can use this card Lugdunum because it matches the color of my destination city. So bye-bye. And we are going to sail all the way over here. That is really nice. The consul's power is that as an action, they can add 1 legion to the city. So it's like, just call them up. No fort needed or nothing. So we're going to do that action twice. I'm ready to get 2 troops there. And we're going to roll 2 dice because I have the 2 troops there. And we are going to get rid of that 1 without losing any of the troops over there. That's the best outcome. All apologies, I did not show the pull card step for the blue character, but I did pull 2 cards. I'm going to go ahead and pull 2 cards for the consul. My first card is Carpe Diem, seize the day. The current player may do 2 more actions. Man, borrowed time, love that card. And revolt. Wah, wah, wah. So let me go ahead and check out which city that's going to land in. It's going to land in Uvavum. Sure. And that is right next to my fort over here with a lot of characters, so I'm not too worried about where that's going to be. I would shuffle this, put that on the top of the deck, move this along. I'm still pulling 2 for the invasion. Let's go ahead and pull 2 of those cards. or G City, something like that. That happens to be right there. And Roma. As I said, you start from Roma and you go along a supply line. You would move along here. This is the next available city that does not have a cube. Fortunately for me, this character is right here. They're providing cover for the Legion. Back! No cube for Drew. All right, it is time for the Praefectus Fabrum to go. Just as we're letting you know about their powers. So one, as an action, remove 2 legions from your city to add a fort to it. I'm pretty cool with where I am right now, so won't need that. As an action, discard a city card to either move from a city with a fort to any city, or move from any city to a city with a fort, taking 3 legions with me. So kind of the operations expert, if you know from basic Pandemic. All right, so we're going to do a recruit action. We are going to go ahead and set up this city with troops or legions to defend against the oncoming hordes. That's fine. So then we are going to go to, and we're going to try to spend as much as we can to wipe this out clean. I love wiping out these kind of inland cities, so I don't have to visit them too often. Whoa! That was I was anticipating much worse rolling than that. So we are going to get rid of 1 legion and 3 cubes back there, and we are going to move back into the city because this is no man's land. Great. I pull 2 city cards. We have another Roma card, this time white and Londinium, way up in the British Isles. So let's go ahead and pull twice from the deck. We have Roma. So Roma, you would take your cube and you would follow the path back. So here's Roma, Aquileia, Nerona. So then there is a cube here. So then it would actually stage in Nerona. That's not a convenient place for that to be. And Aquileia, so we've familiar with that one. So we are going to go ahead and put a cube right there. All right, so let's stay local with the blue character. I am working on that purple cure, purple treaty. That's so bad. Referring to barbarians needing cures. I already mentioned that before. But it is what it is. All right, so what I'm going to do is, so this is not limited. This is pretty thing that you kind of need to do early in the game, is set yourself up with lots of troops. So I'm going to spend 2 actions now that I have the most effective troop recruitment, and just leave a bunch of troops right there. So that's 2 actions. So we're going to go 3 and take 3 troops with me, leaving those troops on the fort. So they're going to slowly wither away at these things, but I think they're going to buy me some good time there. So the last thing I'm going to do on the turn is going to roll some dice. There we go. Lose all 3 of my troops, but I take out all of their troops. That is going to happen. At least Tyrus is clear. Let me go ahead and pull 2 cards. One is a event. Wow, my 3rd event. Dead men don't bite. Remove up to 2 barbarians of the same color from anywhere on the board. That's nice to kind of wipe the board of very troublesome spots. And I got my 3rd card that I needed to make a treaty with the Ostrogoths, purple cards. All right, let's see what I get. We get Syracuse. Syracuse right down here, as you recall, goes back. And it would put itself in Bertigala. Oh, but that's too bad. Runs into one of my legions. Last one. And Manon, oh god. The M City is going to get another orange cube. It is time for the Council's turn. Only has 2 cards because they had to travel and they got the invasion. So what we're going to do is we're going to continue being the bulwark for black. I have a lot of black in the deck, and I've been defending pretty well with it. So we're going to go ahead and grab 2 of these legions. We're going to move, and we're going to try to get rid of that right there. So go ahead and roll. Well, I lose 1, but at least I lose this character, this barbarian as well. Let's go ahead and pull 2 cards. I got my first white card for the console. And I got another revolt. If that seems soon, well, there are 6 in the standard game in the deck instead of the 5 in the base Pandemic. So we're going to see a few more revolts. Yay for me. All right, let's see where I put my revolt in Carthago. Carthago's right down here in North Africa. That's a terrible place. I'm quite intimidated by that. No, thank you. I am so intimidated by that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to use this special event, and I'm going to use it for the improved power. So normally it would be remove 2 barbarians from anywhere on the board of the same color. Now I can remove up to 4 barbarians of the same color if I accept 1 decline. So it's like I'm forcing people to do what I want, but I think it's worth it. Bye-bye, Carthago. Get out of here. And let me go ahead and remove one of those right there. I'm getting a lot of black in this deck, so I think it's worth it to shore myself up that way. I move my invasion marker down to 3, so my recruits are less effective for the rest of the game, which is why I wanted to pile up the recruits while I could, and now I pull 3 cards. Aquileia. Aquileia is about to pop. I don't like the sound of that. Roma, and as happenstance would have it, they're proceeding towards Rome, so they also enter Aquileia because of this pathing right here. Boy, I don't like that. And Syracuse. So because I was able to clear out Carthago, I'm not going to get some massing bunch of troops right there. Instead, it's just going to follow the same path, and it's going to get rid of this last barbarian. Yes! Territory control. Love it. All right, it is now White's turn, the Praefectus Fabrum, operations expert. To remind you of their card situation, they have 3 white cards. I think I want to end in Ravenna because the Praefectus actually has the Ravenna card. So really got to work on those, especially those 5 cards, a little bit difficult to get in this game. Okay, so but first of all, we have to take care of business in Aquileia. So you know what, before I do that, I'm going to do one more summon of troops. I'm going to leave them here. This is just going to be busy. I just like having troops to guard the fort. We're going to move 3 with me. So that is 2. And we're going to roll and get rid of as many as we can. We're going to get rid of 2 blue and a white. I have some designs for you, blue. And then we're going to end a turn. Let's get rid of that guy. In Ravenna, right there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave one of them behind. If I left both of them behind, then they would just get wiped out by 1 cube placement. But if I leave one, then they'll block 1 cube placement, and I'll be able to replace that later. So let's do that. All right, so that is their cards. I got 2 cards, a white and a purple. Perfect. So that is my 4th white, and I'm headed to a 5th. And I'm going to hold on to this one. This is going to be useful when I make a treaty with purple. I can, on a future turn, once I've made the treaty and this is covered, I can give them a purple card and I turn whatever barbarians are in the space into legions. So as legions are harder to get, you convert barbarians to legions. That's really cool. And I am going to get rid of, let's get rid of a black. No one's working on black so far. Okay, pulling 3. Mogo City M. There you go. Oh, that's not good news. Roma. So that is the pathing away from Roma down through North Africa through Spain, and ending in my city because I do not have a troop to block that. And the last one is G City, Jesoriacum, maybe. And that is not a good situation right there. It is now Blue's turn, the Praefectus Classis. I'm going to take 1 with me. Reason being, I just want them to be around to defend here. So we're going to go 1, 2. And now you are going to be a diplomat with your 3 purple cards that I was lucky enough to get fairly early. And we're going to discard those. And I have my first treaty. So I can enlist with future turns. So this character can, as I said, use their card to convert barbarians to their side. They keep coming. You cannot eradicate them. They behave as they would the entire time. The only difference is that it advances the win condition, and you can get that enlist barbarian action. And the last action, I'm going to move over here. I'm going to move that with me. And next turn, I will have the Praefectus. I will take the card from the Ravenna card from blue with white, and I'll be able to get that white treaty going as well. All right, so pulling 3. Carthago, so happy, so worth the decline to deal with that. with that event card. So we're going to go ahead and go back to the supply line, but they do end up in Burdigala, sure. Number 2 is Roma with the purple, and that's a bad thing. Or maybe it is not a bad thing. I'm not sure. We'll see. Because this purple is now in Roma. And that's not great because if I get 3 of them in here, pop. And it's actually fairly easy to get 3 once the supply line has been established. So that is not a great thing. And the last one is in Tyrus. Tyrus is over here, then I'm not too worried about them. The console's turn, yellow, and they're going, what is happening? While you two are messing over there, I'm over here defending the Heartland Europe all by myself. That is unfortunately going to happen from time to time. All right, so we are going to retreat back to Burdigala. The reason being that the console has the Burdigala card and is going to make a fort. So that is going to be a staging area. We are going to place these 2 for a third action, and we are going to try to wipe out that cube over there, because if this cube is not wiped out, then the board will just keep going. The Carthago and Syracuse will just keep on adding, and I want to stop what's happening right there. That's not, well, actually, yes, that's okay. So this is bad. But at least I cleared the area of barbarians, and I have 1 there to block. That could have been worse. All right, the console only has the 1 white card, which is about to be fairly useless, and this Carpe Diem card, which will allow me to do 2 more actions, 4 if I decline. I'm going to have to keep that in my back pocket. Got another fairly useless white, and Hic Manabinimus Optime. Here we will stay, excellency. Choose of the 3 cities with forts, added 2 legions to each of them. That might be really necessary for Burdigala fairly soon. I'm going to hold on to that. All right, let's go ahead and pull my 3. We got Chronesis, Chersonesus. Why not? I probably should have worked on that before I started the playthrough. Whatever. So we have Constantinople. Okay. So that is way far down the track over here. So it is going to go all the way around and run into my 1 lowly legionnaire. So thank goodness I have that there. The last card I pull is a green Roma. So then they are going to follow their green supply line. And there is a green over here. So they actually slept past my defenses and entered Patre. I should have rethought how I dealt with that. Oh well. All right, time for the white character, Praefectus Fabrum, to be a hero. So they are going to trade for the Ravener card out of blue's hand. And we are going to discard Londinium. All right, so to do everything that I want to do, I need to use this card to get me 2 more actions. All right, so I did the 1 action by trading. Number 2 is I'm going to move. I'm going to discard that green card, which I already have, to go to a green city, which is Patre. And I'm going to try to bottle this up, which I do not like. So I'm going to roll 1 die. If I roll 2 dice, there's a chance that I would lose both of my legionnaires taking care of this one. I do not want that at all. So I'll just roll the 1 die, see if I can take care of business with that. I do, and I don't lose anybody. Fantastic. All right, so now we are going to move everybody up to Philippolis. Sure, why not? So that was 1, trade, 2, move, 3, combat, 4, move, everybody to Petrolis. I have the 2 actions left. Look what I can do. I have a treaty-making ability. I have the 5 cards that I needed. That is 2 of the 5 alliances that I need to finish the game. And I still have this card in case I want to make an alliance with purple, or at least enlist their barbarian help. 1 action left. Okay, barbarians. Your reward for making a treaty with me is death. Let's go ahead and roll 2 dice. And, oh, very nice. That's nice. So we got that one. Well, first of all, The eagle says, if you were in a port, remove one barbarian from your city. Just so remove it. But so that would have been nice to cover me if I did not roll that. But I did roll that, so overkill. And I do lose one legionnaire, but as far as that goes, I think I made out about as well as the dice would let me. All right, so that is white. Like I said, I have the purple card, and I pulled two orange cards. So that's definitely starting to work on that orange treaty. Mogontiacum and Genoa. All right, let's see what I get. Caesarea. All right, so Caesarea is down in Africa, so we are going to swing that around, and that is going to show up in Bertigala. Not enough troops there. I could have used this card, but I felt like using it for one fort would have been a waste. Let's see what happens. Okay, Philippolis, yes, stand, resist, and the M city, but for black, and there's definitely going to have to be some security set up for that. It is blue's turn. They don't have a lot of card resources, so only Carthago and Roma, because they had used that on the treaty with the Ostrogoths, but have a power. We are going to stop neglecting over here and give the poor consul some help. So we're going to move over there. We're going to use 2 actions to recruit up to 4 right there. So they're going to wall that off as best I can. And then I'm going to use 1 die and pray to the high heavens that I do not roll this face. Okay, sure, why not? I do lose a legionnaire, but at least I lose the cube. And this is now bottled up a little bit. And then I'm also set up next turn for my yellow character to try to take some of these troops and get over here. So now blue draws some cards. They have a purple, which is not so great. Enlist barbarians it can be a good action, but not always. And revolt. All right, let's go ahead and see what I get from the bottom of the deck. It is Aquileia. Wow, lots of action in Aquileia. That's good because I have 1 little troop over there. And the way it works is that I would add it 1 at a time. And the first one would get rid of that legion. So I only add the other 2. So that helps me out. All right, so let's move that infection marker along, or invasion marker along, and see what I get for the 3. Aquileia for a purple. So that is starting to build up again over there. Roma, no! because this happened, then it enters into Rome. I'm lucky because these 2 happen to be the ones I have trees with, so they're much easier to deal with. Wow, but still. And Aquileia again, are you kidding me? Oh, man. Good thing I had that troop stationed right there, but this is big trouble. I have a very high likelihood that one of those 2 cities is going to pop right now. So I am going to press the button. Desperate times call for desperate measures. This one is add up to 2 legions to each of 3 cities. And the stock is limited. So I would have to just not get legions. But I plan on having a lot of legions die right now. So let's go ahead and stock up these forts with my last of my legions. That was not an action. So we are going to take these 3 and we are going to have ourselves a showdown. So we're going to go 1, 2, and let's go ahead and just throw everything I got at this area. That was horrendous. That couldn't have been worse. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Actually, it could have been a little bit worse, but oh my God. At least I blocked this and I'm here as a bulwark, but oh my God, that was terrible. And so rather than roll with my 1, I'm going to use my last action to summon 1 back because that is their special power. Wow, that was foul. All right, so we are going to pull more white cards, perhaps fodder for recruitment, and a beginning of a black card. Nice and spread out how I don't want them. All right, let's go ahead and pick some. We got Roma, same thing, following the trail. That's why I did that event the way I did it. We have Gessoriacum. Is that the one? Nope. That is not the one I defended. That one explodes. So we decline 1. So I go ahead and knock that one down there. And we add... Oh, we don't add this. A troop has defended it. Great. But we do add in these other connected areas. Don't like that. And the last is Tyrus. I'm not too afraid of Tyrus, but that's the kind of thing that can get out of hand very quickly. It is now time for White's turn, the Praefectus Fabrum. So let us go ahead and move 1. Actually, I'm going to leave 1, or I'm going to leave 4 behind, take 1 with me. So we're going to go 1, 2. I've been foreshadowing this. Going to discard that card to call up my treaties. So you get out of here. You are now legions. I think that is one of the coolest things that I could do in the game. And if I had a white card, I would enlist you too. But I don't, so I'm going to kill you. And I'm going to kill everybody. Oh man, slaughter. Oh wow. That was complete and total slaughter, but I have cleared out Aquileia, which is a really, really good thing. Because it's basically every copy possible of Aquileia is in the deck right now. So that's okay. Good job. All right, so White has 2 orange cards. I have 2 orange cards at a discard, 9 total, so that's not too shabby. And I got 2 Roma cards, one of which is orange. I am 1 away from that treaty. That makes me happy. All right, let's see what I get first. Chernobyl. Why? The second one is Constantinople. So once again, the entire supply line throughout Africa and ending in wow. And so recalling all those troops ended up being really, really key. And Roma, which is why I wanted to free up Patre and free up all this stuff so that my Romans can guard against that. All right, so now we're going to get a sense of how Pandemic Fall of Rome plays out a bit differently. So in a regular game of Pandemic, this would be no question. You'd want to get there as soon as possible. Here, because of the flow, you want to try to back up that flow as much as possible. So we're going to use 2 actions and call up 4 troops. And they are just getting murdered left and right. So we are going to take 2 of them and move over here. And just slowly move our way back to Gisoriacum. I got a little pincer movement going on there. I like that. I'm going to, once again, hedge my bets and try to beat that with 1 roll of the die. And I do it. Fantastic. I did not lose anybody. That makes up for that terrible roll from last time. All right, so I am hoping for either black or green. I did get green, and I did get orange. Let's see if I can put myself in position to trade for orange. Actually, looking at the board, not quite, but at least it's somewhat useful. All right, I'm probably going to get a revolt very soon, but I'm going to ride this out for now. Mogobudu, there you go. Bye-bye. You got my last troop is over there. Straight out on Philippolis, and we have 1 more troop over there. And Caesarea. Yes! Gotta say, the positional play in this game is unparalleled. Doesn't give me a feeling. No other Pandemic gives you that feeling. Man, I really dig this game. All right, speaking of positional play and defense and not doing the obvious thing, so we are going to use 3 actions for this council. The council can call up legions from nowhere into their own city. And instead of initiating fights, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move here and cover this area, Jerosika, and leave 1 troop here, so that next turn I'll be able to, try to basically delay time until I can draw a card that gives me a fort there, and this free up the water person to get over to the other side of the world because Chronesis, Blue Sea City, is giving me trouble. It is quite a shame that I am not working on yellow cards, but at least I got my second black out of 5. Still pulling 3. Carthago. So Carthago goes back, and it finally clears out my area in Bergdalia. So now black has a clear run of things if they get it, and they're gonna get it. I tried my best. Tried my best. And Mongo, there it is, and it will destroy this one. So now I know that there's going to be some shenanigans over here. It is time for white to be a hero once again. Cardnuntum is not seeing a lot of action, so we're going to go here. We're going to use this person's power. As an action, discard a city card to any city card to either move from a city with a fort to any city and take 3 legions with you. That is exactly what's happening. So I have this black card, which isn't doing too much for me on this character. So we are going to take 3 legions. We are going to go to where the action is, right there. And so that was their second action. So they're set up in Cardnuntum. And the next action is, as an action, remove 2 legions from your city and add a fort. We needed a fort. There shall be a fort. Yes. There we go. And for the bonus, as a last action, I'm going to use my... now that I still have the 2 legions summoned, we're going to have summons here. Bulwark, baby. That's exactly what I needed. So white needs 1 orange to complete. They did not get it. We got the Athene, which is black, and another revolt. This time the revolt is in Bergdalia, which is pretty horrendous news. Oh well. Let's go ahead and put 3 cubes over there. And I'm going to now pull 4 cards from the evasion deck. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see what happens to me. We got Tyrus. Gets its 3rd barbarian. We got Carthago once again putting so much pressure on me. And finally broke contain. It is finally this way. I might just have to give up on that. I tried so hard. Philippolis. And I have a troop down there that will sacrifice their life gladly. And Aquileia. So Aquileia has been cleaned out. So I'm not too worried about that. But just when I thought I was doing well. All right, time to play more defense while I wait for my next wave of treaty cards to come together. So let's go ahead and move blue back. It is blue's turn. So we are going to try our best with these 2. The reason I'm not summoning more. I'll show you in a second. Oh, that's not bad at all. That's not bad at all. If in a port city, I sure am. Remove 1 barbarian. Bye-bye. And I get to remove 2 cubes, any cubes I want, and by removing 1 person. I think I'm just gonna, I think I'm giving up on contain over here for now. Let's get some of these angles and jutes back in the area. For my last 2 actions, because I am the water person that can sail across the entire world, I am going to go ahead and play that. It would be cool to make a fort there, but it would be even cooler to get rid of all of them and enlist them as barbarians. Yes! There's a lot of good things. So I'm protected against, when this hits, going to Tyrus, going to Philippolis, and back that up. Lots of good stuff. All right, those are my cards. I need green. 2 more. No green. More white. That means that I should be getting a flood of the cards I actually need, because I've gotten way more white than I need. All right, still drawing 4. Let's see what happens. Bergdalia. Okay, last troop is eliminated there. Roma. Roma has a white. No! No! Oh, no! That's not good news at all. Aquileia, which completes their supply line, so they're going to have a lot of pressure coming over here. I have to keep mind of that. And Roma for green. My last troop at Philippolis, which, whew, way to go. I'm going to reinforce you as soon as I can. It is now yellow's turn to be a hero. I got my 2. Let's see how many I could clear out of G Orange City. So I got, that's not bad. So I got to get rid of 1. I actually don't know what this person's eagle is. It is add 1 legion to the city. Okay. I will take that. So that's number 1. The reason I want it to be in Jesoriakum is because it is a port, and I can use whatever color cards I have to get from port to port really easily. Let's do it. And finally use some of these useless white cards. Gonna go ahead and get rid of a white card. We are going to move with 2 troops over here. Fantastic. And then we are going to get rid of another useless white card to turn these into more conscripts. You know, I've played this game a bunch. I don't think I've used Enlist Barbarian this much. I don't think I've had this early cure and then like just stagnated on the rest of the treaties or everything. But I'm glad I'm able to take advantage of it now. And so for my last action, I'm going to go ahead and reinforce Philippolis because I really need to. Yellow desperately needs black. I will take the green and the black. Going to have to coordinate some trades over here, but at least 3 black is a promising start. I got to tell you, people, with those recruits, I feel a lot better about this situation, although it could still go wild on me. Caesarea. Should have known. I should have put the camera over there because this is a problem. Mogotika. And we're going to get rid of a troop right there. Constantinopolis. Oh, oh boy. Should have remembered that. And Roma. Wow. The Vandals are really, really putting pressure on me. Might have been good to save that one that swept up black cubes, but nothing that I can do about that. All right, it's getting to the point where I need to set up some trades now because I've spent half the game defending. And now I need to trade. But first, we're going to call up some troops. The last troops in the supply, because they're all out on the board. And they'll all not be on the board very quickly. But let's go ahead and... Ooh, that's okay. But we're going to get rid of that first. I believe this one is the good one for the being at the fort. Yep, in a city with a fort, remove 2 barbarians. What? Wow, okay. So I'll take the loss of 1 legion to get rid of these 4. Ho ho, that really helps. So that's cool. So then so that was 2 actions, and I have 3 troops stationed right there. You stay right there, Ben. Yes, sir. And I'm going to go 1-2 to Narbo because my mobile blue person has Narbo, and that is my 4th orange if I don't get it from the deck right now. All right, how is this deck going to mistreat me? That's pretty mistreatful. Revolt. All right, so that was early. So I'm going to get pelted with black because there's a lot of black in here. But I'm at least not going to get the invasion for a little bit. Let's go ahead and put 3 in Patre. That is not the worst thing in the world. That could have been much, much worse. Okay. I say that, watch, I'm going to get it. It's going to explode in my face. All right, Carthago. Yeah, we knew that was coming. And it actually is able to put the cube in Carthago. Although the Rome black one is buried pretty deep in there. Let's see if I'll see if I get it. Okay. Tyrus. Tyrus has the 2 over here. So because they're not covered, all of them are going to get wiped out, but I don't mind that at all. Caesarea. So Caesarea has a cube, and now the supply chain over here is going to get reinforced really good. And that's what I get for tempting fate. Boom! So at least that one's covered right there, but we got some spread into these 2 cities. All right, it is Blue's turn. So I'm at the point where I can leave Chersonesus undefended. Go ahead and fill up. I don't really care. So we're going to go and take all 3 of our troops to Narbo because they are the water person. They could freely go between ports. And I'm going to trade Narbo to White, the Praefectus Fabrum or whatever it is. They have their 4 orange cards to make a treaty. Wow, it feels like I haven't made a treaty for like 2 hours. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to go down to Carthago. We're going to make a stand for a couple of reasons. 1, make a stand. Number 2, I have the Carthago black card, so we can try to get yellow over there to trade for it and then make the black treaty. But first, let's try to get rid of this one so we don't have any leakage into Rome in case something terrible happens. Okay, I think this one is the good one. If you are in a port, remove one barbarian in your city. I will take it. So you need green, and I have not seen a lot of green yet, so darn it, come on, deck. There we go. We got one. Oh my god. I don't think I've pulled like a single pull of two colors besides the white. And that was after I didn't need any more. So that is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. That's okay. And oh, by the way, I should point this out. If I did reinforce, it would only be one. This is pretty progressed down there. So let's see. Aquileia. Okay, I love it. Roma. All right. So that is why I'm at Carthago. I am now finally bulwarked against Roma. Okay. Constantinople. Same thing. So it is there. And Roma for white. Oh, if I get one more there, oh God, this game's over. It is time to eat my words. So it's Yellow's turn, and I was talking so much junk about how they were stuck with so many white cards. Thank goodness I have those white cards, because we are going to go 1, 2 by discarding a white card in order to get to Rome a little bit more quickly from the port city. And my last garbage white card is going to be a enlist barbarian. So we are going to replace them with 3 barbarians. Good gracious. And then the fourth action, we're going to move them all down here and have the blue player trade that Carthago card on their turn. Whew! Unless, of course, I get dealt another black card. You're just taunting me, game. I can't believe you. All right, we're pulling another 4 cards. Aquileia, not too worried about that anymore. This is the M city, but that has been fortified. Wow, that was a mid-game disaster, but it is now bottled up pretty tight. Happy about that. We got Philippone right there. And Roma, this is... Why? No? All right, let's rally and have some fun. We're going to go 1. I'm going to call up... We're actually not going to call up any troops because it's a waste of time. Because it's only 1 troop that I would get from that summon. So we're just instead going to discard this useless card for 2 to get to the G City. And we are going to make a treaty for 3. It has been so long in game time since I've made a treaty. That feels super good. And we're going to go 4 just to set up for next turn. I'm feeling pretty good that this one has that defended and that's going to be a problem. And I have a lot of mobility from forts. So let's just do that. All right, there's not too much that I can get that would be useful besides green. I did get a green. Let's see what terrible things happen to me now. Bird de Gallia. So now that one is, I would follow the trail over there, and it would end up in Lutetia, which is not bad at all. I don't mind that at all. Gerosicaum, okay, bye. That was coming. The M City, and let's get rid of that. That's pretty good defense over that I've set up. And Syracuse made my final stand as Carthago. I do not regret anything. All right, I am getting down to the nitty gritty. I'm going to get a revolt at any time, my 6th and final. I'm going to have to trust in luck that I'm going to get dealt a green card. It's actually not that out of the question because there's a bunch of green in the deck, at least 3 cards left. And the cards that I have with my other characters are just impossible to trade for. All right, so instead, I'm going to use the mobility of the Praefectus. Well, first of all, let's trade Carthago to yellow, which has 4 out of the 5 that they need. So then we are going to go 2 to Aquileia because I have a lot of mobility. We're going to discard this white card right there, get rid of those 2. I've never used Enlist Barbarian so much. And I'm going to use my last action to end in Tingy, because I have the Tingy card, and that will be the last card that yellow needs. All right, let's see what I get. Trusting in a little bit of luck. There's the luck. About time I get dealt something good. And the last event deck. Let's see. During one battle this turn, set the dice to the result you want instead of rolling them. Very nice. I like that. Might have to do some fighting towards the end. Cool. Pulling 4 more cards. Chronesis. We do not care about that at all. I'm sorry. Cheronesis. Whoever's from there, I apologize for that. Okay. Roma. Okay. There's only one Revolt card in the deck, so I don't have to worry about this. That's cool. An orange Roma. That's interesting. So they go to this city right there. And Carnatum. Carnatum is right there. Wow, finally. You guys have been sitting there the whole time. Yellow's turn is stupid easy. So we're going to go 1, 2, leave a troop there. 3, we're going to trade for this city right there, which is Tingy. And we are going to get rid of these 5 cards. And I also have to discard one of these useless whites, which I'm perfectly happy with. And the 5 cards is an alliance with the Vandals. About time. 4 out of 5 alliances. I have the 5th one when the blue turn is coming around. I just need to survive. Let's see what I get. All right. Yuvavoom. I remember you from that very early explosion or very early invasion a while ago. More Carnatum. Hey, earning your money. Sweet. The Philippolas. Okay. And Narbo. Haven't seen Narbo at all. That's how you know that it was an early pull. So then it was along the path over here. It would go to Aquilea. All right, so I am almost done. Let's get in some shenanigan insurance. So I can discard a card to go from a fort to any city with white, the Fabrum, and we're going to go to Rome. We are going to use this card to enlist barbarians and get those into Roma right there. And then we are going to move and try to take out this one straggler. That's right there. 1-on-1, I will take that trade. And I have a little bit of defense. Well, I actually don't have defense. I probably should have taken this one out, but it doesn't really matter. So that's cool. At the very least, I'm able to prevent aid outbreak in Brundisium. I have the win. Next turn, usually what happens is that I pull a revolt or an epidemic or whatever it is right before I have the win. There it is. That was totally and utterly predictable. I will laugh my buns off if this is Brundisium. It is not Brundisium. It is Athenae. I will take it. I don't think I can go down too hard, but you never know. Let's see. Syracuse. All right, so that is the last one from Carthago. Well done towards the end of the game. Love that. Patre. Okay, so the decline meter, just so you know, is over there. It's kind of halfway down, so I'm not too worried about that. So let's go ahead and take that one out. 1, 2. Actually, chain reaction there would have been terrible. So you did good, sir. Well done. Okay, Bertagala. And that's another one right there. And the M City. Bye-bye. You did real good work defending that. I can honestly say every single character played a role in this victory over here, but I really think if I had to vote for an MVP, we're going to go with Waterguy. He just was everywhere, trading cards, very mobile, doing their thing. So we are just going to get those 4 cards right there. And we are going to make our final alliance. You know what that looks like, ladies and gentlemen? That looks like victory! Holy Moses, that was so much fun. I haven't played this game in a couple of years. Took it out because I noticed that the One Stop Co-op Shop did not have a playthrough for it. Colin did not do so. He has done playthroughs of Rising Tide and Iberia. So if you wanted to know about those, go ahead and check the Pandemic playlist. Every Pandemic that playthrough that we have is on that playlist, including Colin's plays of those previous games. And now we're rounding it out with Fall of Rome. Whoo! I can't tell you, I had so much fun. It is almost worth all that time in front of the editing thing, which is not fun. At least I got to play a really awesome game of Pandemic Fall of Rome. Really hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. This is Jason reminding you that we will see you at the next stop.